everybody, and welcome to episode number 4 of the Pen Clique, brought to you by Visioncon, Playco Games, and 𝗏𝗏𝗺 Kaiju. This month we have terrible product mascots. So I'm your host, Deanna Powell. I'm a staff member on Visioncon, and I'm also co-owner of Playco Games. And my co-host, Mr. 𝗏𝗏𝗺, is one of the members of 𝗏𝗏𝗺 Kaiju.
Hello, everybody. I am 𝗏𝗏𝗺, the co-host of 𝗏𝗏𝗺 Kaiju, and welcome to the Pen Clique tonight. I am looking forward to doing the suggestion that my man Dave Stanfield, actually, huge shout out to Dave Stanfield too, not just for the prompt tonight, but because he does Overlord Games and we're working on Escape the Dead. If you haven't seen that art on my Instagram, go check it out. The game's gonna be dope as hell. Anyway, but it was his prompt, and I'm really, really looking forward to what these artists have brought to the table. So, and I did everything in my power not to peek. The only stuff I saw was like the work in progress shot that Haley had, and then I shared a couple of mine. So I'm really stoked to see what everyone has.
I only saw the thumbnails in Drive. I didn't look this time, so I could be surprised. It was hard. It was really hard not to.
It really is.
Who cheated? Who looked?
Sarah told me she didn't peek at all.
I didn't know we weren't supposed to.
I'm sorry.
I have zero patience. Sorry.
Right, well, this month we have got 8 talented artists joining us. And I will introduce each of them, tell you who's here. We've got 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗃, we've got Haley Codling, Nate Howard, Anna Hansen, Eric E. Danger Wright, James Rutherford, Christopher Harris, and joining us new this month is Sarah Saltares. Welcome, Sarah. Okay, as I already told you, this month is terrible product mascots. We asked the fans to give us a terrible product that the artist could draw a mascot for. So something, anything. It was wide open. We got quite a few suggestions. We voted between Soylent Green, which I don't know. I didn't know what that was till somebody told me. Apparently,
Oh,
Soylent Green is people.
spoilers.
I didn't know that for the poll, though. Hormel Imitation Bacon Bits. And Hostess's new healthy kale-based snack cakes.
Beautiful.
Very cow chips.
Cow
This
chips.
was actually in the suggestion.
Nobody picked it.
Not even the person that suggested it. Well,
Like nice cartoon cow with like little flakes and the chips in his teeth, and he's all happy. Man, come on.
You guys are welcome.
Everybody was going to draw the exact same thing.
That's probably true. But you guys are welcome to just draw every prompt if you'd like.
Ain't nobody got
all the
that
spare
guy.
time you got.
It'll be really great exposure.
Yeah. You know what, Haley? You're right.
Well, the winner out of the poll turned out to be Krampus replacing Santa Claus in the Coca-Cola ads.
That's fun.
Yeah, and I've got quite a few artists that enjoy drawing horror, I know for a fact, so I'm anxious to see how in-depth some of these get. May not be a fun Christmas show, this may be a scary Halloween throwback. I'm good either way.
Yeah.
A nightmare.
It just happened to have landed on something festive. I mean, it seems appropriate, so.
True, true.
I couldn't.
Oh, I lost my links. There they are, good. We are going to start tonight with Adam Mclaughlin. He could not
Yes,
be here.
Adam couldn't be here tonight. Big shout out to Adam. Hey, Adam. See you next time, Adam. But yeah, he had a really, really cool one, and I got to take a peek at that earlier.
Okay, you guys ready? I got it to pull up. He wanted to share it. He just couldn't be here to tell us all the awesome stuff about it. And no, don't stop the live stream. Share the screen, Deanna.
The ultimate mic drop.
Yeah. All right,
Take this
here we go.
away.
Here is Adam McLaughlin's Krampus in a Coca-Cola ad. Ta-da!
So good.
God, it's just insane. I love his stuff. Like we were saying earlier, of course they didn't hear that, but I'm gonna repeat it. It's just so funny, like how much of a nice, reserved guy he is, and you just would he would like produce this, and it's just I think it's the best thing ever. That
It is shocking.
brain can go there, and yeah, he does amazing character design.
He has Santa strapped to him as a loincloth.
Yes, he is wearing like an article of clothing, and with the polar bear staff, with the made from polar bears.
Coca-Cola bear.
Yeah, it's a Coca-Cola bear, and it's on a stick, dude.
On a stick.
Just because we watched it recently,
Wait.
it made me think of Berserk, like that goat man from one of the Berserk comics.
Yeah.
You think like that, just that crazy ink work and like all those chains, just something an insane person would spend time on.
I know, right?
All those chain links.
Yeah.
All of that. Here, does this zoom in? Can you guys see it zoomed in?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I mean,
Coca-Cola fridge.
That and he does this traditionally, and it's God.
You were
Oh my
right.
gosh, the bells are nailed into his horns.
Right.
His details are just, maddening. Something a crazy person would only do traditionally.
Is right is that fridge like okay, never mind. He's got it down on the ground. He's got his hand on the ground. Okay, so it's just mounted like a pauldron
Yeah.
to his shoulder.
Well, I had the pleasure of doing a lecture with him at the library about like our horror art and like who our influences are and stuff. I don't know if any of you guys were there for that, but he was talking about like which artist influenced him, and you could definitely see it like in his work. But he does it it's him. Nobody else looks like that. It's like it's weird how you can tell who people are inspired by, but like they do it in but they're inspired by so many other people that when it all comes together, it just belongs to them. It's theirs. Like Sarah, I remember talking to your dad about when he was doing Ghost Rider, and he was talking about using speed lines and how he picked that up from like 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏's Akira books, and like he just loved the way he did motion, so he implemented that into a lot of his work. Him and I talk about Akira all the time, but but I just love how Adam does that, and he pays attention to like texture. It's like the hair is the hair, the metal's the metal, the horn is horn. Like that representation of those materials are there. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of this he has planned out in the beginning, and how much of it he's like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna put a groin on him. I'm gonna mount Santa Claus to him.
Why groin when you can have Santa?
Yeah, a human being frightened to death.
Living Santa underpants, man.
Right. Like it's just
it's like Santa blings. It's on a necklace. Like that's crazy.
That's so
Wow. Okay. All right, we have some viewers. Hi, Keith. Hi, David, and hi, Lauren and Jess. Thanks for joining us.
Hello.
Oh.
I feel like, did you guys ever watch Romper Room?
oh God.
Keith and I see Lauren.
Oh yeah, I remember. I remember every Nate they called for, man. I thought they were talking to me.
I never said Deanna. That was not fair.
Mhm.
You guys want to see more of Adam's art? You can find him at www.adamdoesart.com and on social media. And I put the links in the chat on Facebook if you guys want to
Go check out his stuff.
check him out.
Whoops.
All right. And then up next, how about James? Would you like to go?
That's fine. I'll go down.
All right.
He's been quiet. He's been the silent kung fu killer.
Just plotting, waiting for the most.
I don't know what I'm waiting for. I think I'm just tired.
Wow.
I literally busted this out last night, pretty much.
That's funny.
I had the sketch done, but no coloring or anything until yesterday. So, yeah. So I looked at, we talked about the Coca-Cola. So I kind of like the mid-century 1950s, 1960s stuff. So I looked at that, tried to figure out something we can do. Krampus has always got the children that he's torturing, so I figured that needed to be in there as well. And this is actually the slogan, one of the slogans that they've used in the Coke ads before, and I thought that fits so well with what I got going on here, so I'm gonna go with it. But yeah.
Is he sitting on her?
Yeah, he's sitting on her.
Well, he's gotta be something to keep her.
The pan to the face was really great. Oh wow,
It almost looks like this has happened to her before. Like she's just telling him to get up. Like you're sitting on me.
So yeah. I'm not used to drawing fur, so I'm not too happy with this area of his neck, but overall it's not too bad for what it is.
No, that's a great design, dude.
Yeah.
And the color usage is great too. Like keeping the reds and like everything vibrant in the center like that, and it kind of has like this nice little.
Yeah, I figured you always got the Santa with the red outfit, so I went with something similar. And his jacket and belt's actually a medieval winter coat from reference online.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that outfit if it was like a traditional style.
Yeah, it's a 12th century. The same thing with the girl with the headpiece too. So,
I can't not look at that and like.
Look at me.
I was gonna do one where he's drinking his soda, but he opened it with the kid's teeth. I was gonna have like busted teeth and the kid smiling with his teeth missing, but I thought maybe that would be very inappropriate.
I'm just happy to help, I guess.
Well, you see all the laughing, right? They would have.
I had a woman torn in half as a puppet. I think you can get away with.
So I figured, kid, the Krampus torturing the kid by taking a break and popping the Coke lid on their teeth. And the kid losing their teeth at the same time was a horrible thing. But yeah, the Coke bottles here, this is a carrying case from like the 1940s style. So
the way you like your references and your research, I always dig that. Like, every single piece you brought on this show so far, and I've been around you for years and years anyway, but like for those that don't know, like this guy really does his research when it comes to his subjects, man, and it really shows. It's like the coolest thing. What about what type of brushes and stuff did you use for this, James? I know the line work looks like a pencil brush almost.
The one is the stubby pencil brush in Photoshop. The other ones are a lot of those Adam Duff brushes in there. Yeah, for anyone that's interested, he's got a set that you can grab online for free. I just kind of chose one or two brushes and just started laying it on. I played around with some fur brushes, but cartoon design fur with fur brushes, yeah, it was a weird effect. So I just kind of went, cartoony style with that. Thanks to some of the other guys, when we were talking about, I think was it Adam that did his color painting thing for us that day?
Oh, Chris Yarbrough.
Yeah, Chris Yarbrough. Yeah. So Chris Yarbrough, we watched this. So I try to take that thing where you just start slopping in color playing around with different colors here and there.
Yeah, I noticed that, man, for sure. You have a lot of tones and hues kind of thrown in that complement it well.
So I just wanted to see, I wanted to get some more blues in, but I was like, okay, it's late. Let's just try to get done.
Yours was the only other one that was in the folder when I dropped mine. So yours was the only other one that I peeked at. But I remember when I saw it, I loved the purple in his hair and tail. Like, I would have gone black, like just black fur to go with it. But it makes it so much better. Like, that's just good decision making.
Your Coke bottle anatomy is on fleek.
Yeah,
the bottles are so good looking. Dude.
I know, and you drew several of them.
Well, actually, I drew one and copied and pasted it.
Dude, nothing wrong with that, man.
Why do more than one? Why draw the 6-pack since you're working digitally? Draw one. They're all the same.
The one that he's holding is different.
Yeah, but
so, I mean, there you go.
Other than that, yeah.
Hey guys, in the comments, Keith says this gives new meaning to have a Coke and a smile. I think you might have typed that back when you were talking about knocking that kid's teeth out.
Yeah. that was my first idea, but I just didn't think it would be appropriate. So maybe next time I'll go crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's always next Christmas, dude. You can't let that go away.
In a year from now, we're all gonna pop off, and we're not gonna.
All right. Let's see here. Oh.
And again, I compliment you on that using the slogan and the logo. I was like, I'm looking at those old magazine ads from like the Giant Life books and stuff online because when I think about Christmas, I usually go that route. And you think about Coke, that's usually I don't think they started until the 40s, late 40s, early 50s, doing their Coke Santas. I could be wrong, but
yeah, the artist did a self-portrait of himself as Santa, and that's kind of where that Santa took off from.
So, when we talked about Krampus and Coke, that's straight where my brain went, was to those old 1940s.
Same here, yeah.
The fact that you even kept the color scheme similar.
Yeah.
Like your reds aren't too red. It's like they match what you would see like on those ads.
Well, I did an overall some adjustment layers on the overall thing to try to tone it down so that they would all not be over bright or whatnot.
Yeah, that's one thing that you were inspired by a very like older kind of vintage kind of ad, and you kept that art style. I'll explain with mine, but yeah, that I admire that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Lauren says James' historical accuracy is admirable.
What she said.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brittany's joined us. Hi, Brittany. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Brittany.
Let me see. Haley, how about you next?
Oh, gosh. Okie dokie.
Oh, you know what? One thing I keep forgetting to ask. Where's everybody coming from tonight? Like, James, are you here in Springfield?
Yeah, I'm in Springfield.
Okay, and I know Gary is. Hey, Haley?
Yeah, I'm Springfield bound as well.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Did we lose Sarah there? I think we might have lost Sarah.
Just video, I think. She's still in there.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, are we gone?
You're broken up a bit, but
Yeah.
They said that we're offline right now on Facebook.
Are we?
Oh,
We've been dropped. Hold on.
oh, it's back on, but it looks like it's somebody's
it's delayed, so I wouldn't be able to see. What I'm saying we're on.
Okay, we're back on. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're on an iPad face now.
Wait, thank you, by the way. Sorry, guys.
Hello.
Technical difficulties. We need a picture of like a smoking monkey at a TV camera. And it says, "Sorry."
What's that little trumpet sound that do the like that? Just like, sorry. Be right back. what we need.
All right.
I'm going in again.
All right.
Okie
I'm going in.
Din, 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 din. So this is mine. I went a little spooky.
Yeah.
That's what I feel cozy with. And doing my own little research on Krampus, I was learning how him and Santa are in cahoots, and
Right.
Santa's really the instigator in all of this, and how he leaves birch twigs for Krampus to come and find, and that's how he knows those are the bad kitties, and those are the ones he puts in his basket. So I was trying to kind of play on the fact that like Santa would leave Coke for the kids that were naughty instead, and have that play in. And then the give and take say I was like an actual quote on an ad, and I thought it was so creepy, and that kind of helped inspire. And then God, just my own personal like pleasure zone of doing skulls and hands and spooky. The kid in the fireplace I struggled a little bit with, just because I don't think I've ever drawn like a small child peeking out from a door in a fireplace, you know, but I had a blast with it. I definitely had moments where I was like, what in the hell am I doing? Like, what decisions am I making here? But I'm pretty stoked with how it turned out. It speaks to my spooky self. I feel like I translated that.
Your Krampus is like the spirit, the opposite side, almost like the curse of Christmas. Like it's a very J-Wan thing. Like maybe like the ghost of J-Wan is like luring the child out with Coke, ready to spring a trap. Like it's just.
I feel like it's about greed. It's almost like a greed thing too, in a way, because it has like this red sense of urgency.
Right.
For the soda, and that kid's like, oh, I need that. I mean, that's great.
Yeah,
But,
I love that pop of red.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. I knew that with the amount of time I give myself, because it was also a matter of like, oh, I got 2 nights now. Okay, shoot.
That worked well.
Kept it in black and white and did that little bit of red because I knew I wouldn't have time for color, but it ended up working out.
Yeah.
Hey, it's good marketing. You're selling Coke here.
Right.
Yeah, that's the point.
You're drawing the eye where it needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you find that quote? Was it in an ad?
Yeah, there's one. I'm sure like when we Googled, you know, like Christmas Coke ads, we all saw kind of the same ones. Like the kid is definitely kind of a reference from like the kid and the fireplace are part of an ad, you know, that I took and altered around a little bit. Right. This one, it was like was it like Santa takes the time to come give you all the gifts, so he might as well take some time for a Coke, I think was the idea for that.
Oh.
They used it on a few.
Freaked me out.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's spooky. Some of them were just weird. And I was like, this is perfect. They knew.
I like the softness of it too. Like it's kind of a cool juxtaposition there. Like I was gonna ask you, like, what kind of brush did you use?
It was this round opacity to just put in because it's just a little round paintbrush, and then the damp brush to blend.
And this is in what program is this in?
This is just Procreate.
Okay. And I'm just only asking, you know, if someone's watching and they want to know what you were using.
Yeah, so there's actually there's a YouTube video where if you just look up Cynic's art on YouTube, he has a link to all this set of brushes right here for Procreate for free. And so far, like, I've downloaded all these other ones, but this is one that I just keep coming back to. Like, that damp brush is just such a smoky, like, nice but still kind of textured, buttery blender. And you know, round opacity is round opacity, but I tried to layer it, tried to make it look kind of painterly because that's what I know. The kid's a little goofy, but
looks so happy.
Perfect.
No, I know that it's actually very has a very Disney quality to the eyes. You know, like I feel sorry for that kid if he only knew.
Lauren says ethereal. That's spooky and ethereal. That's a good word for it. Ethereal.
Yeah.
Dreamy.
I love that spike of red in there and just how you use that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just really neat. Oh, that's great. I like that.
Yeah, I tried.
Jessica says she wants this as a Christmas card. Great idea. Next year, you guys, we should make Christmas cards out of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done worse.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me share.
I love it.
Thanks for drawing that.
That's too funny.
All right. Let me see. Eric, you're next.
All right.
I drew names early this time because I'm always like, who wants to go? I'll just write it down. Now, Eric, where are you coming from?
I am located in the lovely Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Let's see. There we go. So when you guys told me you wanted me to do a classic Coke ad, I kind of thought that you were giving me an opportunity to pay homage to Norman Rockwell. So
very well put. Yeah.
Pretty much just hijack one of his designs and do this with it. So I don't know. There's not really a whole lot more depth to it.
I like how he's not really scary. I mean, I'm sure he'd be startling to look at, but he's.
He looks like he's scared. Like the one voice scared now.
I mean,
like I can be friends with that guy. I can totally have a Coke with that guy.
Yeah. What's more terrifying than a spooky goat man than just a small child?
Right?
He's interested in what he's saying. Yeah. God, this is impressive. Your hatch work is amazing.
Yeah. Always that pencil work, man. Jesus. So good.
So I went ahead and looked up the one that I referenced just to show you guys if you want to see that.
Yeah.
Let's see. So here's the Rockwell version.
Norman Rockwell's a man. I love that guy so much. Everything he does is spot on. You nailed it.
And yeah, Rockwell's kid is creepy too.
Yeah.
Like his tail is like straight up in alert, like exclamation mark.
It's great.
Love it.
So like what were you thinking when you went for like that design for Krampus? Like what was your thought process for using this version or this design?
So I don't know. I wanted to go with like one of the more traditional designs. Just I don't know. I'm not a horror artist, so trying to do what you or Adam was gonna do, it just wasn't gonna work for me. So I was personally terrified of trying to draw fawn legs for the first time ever. So that became a thing here.
The pose feels natural for as awkward as the legs are. Like you positioned it just right, I think.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, I went and studied some anatomy. It's like pretty much the same thing as our feet, except animals with hooves pretty much walk on what would be our toes.
Mm.
So
their heel looks like more like their ankle.
Yeah, exactly. Still took a lot of effort.
Yeah.
I really love that turkey in the fridge.
I noticed that too. It inspires to draw a turkey.
I thought it was an armadillo on its side at first. The leg looks like a face to me at first.
In the original painting, somebody cooked a full turkey and just put it in the fridge.
I guess, I don't know.
Hey, maybe it's not cooked yet. They're thawing it.
I mean, you're right.
Oh,
It's
wow.
not your fault, Eric. I'm just saying, like, exactly.
That turkey looked just as spooked to see the kid as Krampus is.
Turkey has an O face.
I love how your pencils just, you don't even have to ink your pencils. Like, they just work so well as is, you know, that I think it's just really, really cool. I like to, you know, those colors.
I obsessively perfect them is the issue.
But that's how you do. That's a good thing, though. That's a good problem. It's a good problem.
Wait, is this not inked?
No.
No, it's not. It's
wow.
It's just contrast, brightness, and some curves in Photoshop.
That's even more amazing to me now. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, his lines are so bold and, like, you know, good luck ever having to erase anything. I don't know.
So what was the hour count on all the cross-hatching?
A metric eternity.
Well, you said you spent 2 full studio days.
Yeah, it was definitely 2 full studio days, and then a couple hours here and there when waiting to get off work and such.
We should totally make you a Photoshop brush so you can do it.
You wouldn't know what to do with all the extra time. You probably just
Actually, I did use a lot of clone stamping in this one because I didn't quite get everything to the edges, so I did go back in there and kind of mess with that in a couple spots.
it counts.
Yeah, it totally counts. Still impressed.
Did you cross-hatch your clone stamping while you're doing it?
Put like a randomizer on it to where it just.
That'd be hilarious.
I barely know how digital works, so.
Not only can you copy and paste, but you can have it randomly choose an angle and a rotation every time. So, because that's art.
But no, this is just great stuff.
I will research more on that later. All right. I think that's all I've got.
Yeah, right on, man. Well done.
Fucking impressive.
Let's see. I can't see my cursor. Hang on a second. There we go.
Okay. How about now our newbie, Sarah? Would you like to present your first Pen Clique drawing? Can you hear us, Sarah?
Yes, you guys hear me?
It's crackling. It's crackling a bit. You're a bit robotic.
Okay. Of course, it's not until we go live and I start having issues.
We can understand you though. So.
If you, this computer is so old, I think downloading Zoom was the final nail in its coffin.
No.
Give me just a minute. I'm going to rejoin on my laptop. I don't have video on that though, but I should be able to screen share. So I'm going to move on, come back to me in just a little bit.
Well, we could hear you earlier. Did you do something different?
I think she has gone.
Log now. She's gonna log back in.
Okay.
So we'll just come back to her.
Okay. Well, Gary, you're next. Your stuff, Gary. Can't be first, can't be last.
No, gets up and
That's
walks
the
out.
rule. The rule of co-host.
Cool.
Last. Let me share screens with you guys. This is my gross Krampus, as Haley likes to call it.
Gross.
When we were at our group meeting last time, I was just like, "Hey, I'm just gonna start painting because this started doodling this guy, and like I started kind of making him like little chubby and like over, super obese or whatever. And then Haley's like, "Oh my god!" And I drew his hair like these little weird little curls here.
I would like to point out.
"Oh my god, his hair is so gross."
That I'm not body shaming anyone is literally just the little greasy curly Q hair.
Yeah, you're right.
Side of the head. I was like, that's nasty.
It's like greasy. Like that's not even a style choice. That's just how it looks.
Like Ron Jeremy if he was as a satyr or something.
It kind of reminds me of the fat vampire from the first Blade movie.
Pearl. But
I'm actually thinking the ugly fat guy in the floaty chair from Dune.
Oh.
Yeah, I kind of took the same route that James did, just kind of making the ad using the logo. I kind of wanted it to make it just because you never see a Krampus that's like, a bigger Krampus. So I was like, man, I want to do one and kind of put like some little gross hairs on him and stuff. But I originally was going to do like a pig nose, like an upturned nose. Like they saw my early design when I was drawing it in the group. He had more of a pig like looking nose, and I was like, no. I was like, he needs like a goat nose that is set like a human nose, but it has goat features instead. And I really liked the way that it came out better. And then I tried to give him kind of like goat teeth a little bit. Just random little spikies in there. And I actually kind of took that from watching It. Like the character designer, he was talking about how that was one of the things that kind of made Pennywise look harmless, because he has that exaggerated clown look, and like the big buck teeth are part of it. But if you look closely at them, they're kind of offset and like weird looking and very nasty. And that's kind of like what I wanted to do with this version of Krampus, was put soft features on him, but where he's still like really weird and off looking. Like I used the design of goat's eyes. There, and then the horns, I just kind of came up with the design on my own, just with like an interesting shape or whatnot. I kind of like that claw look.
Oh yeah, that little sub horn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the like the eyes and the nose, just like how absolutely black those are.
Yeah.
Just those sharp little details in the center of their face make you really zoom in on it and see all his nasty.
Your Coca-Cola edging, like it looks embossed in glass. Like everybody's bottle work is impressive.
Thank you, sir.
Like that's
them bottles though.
Them bottles though, right? I know that's.
What does it say under the Coca-Cola in red?
Oh, that's just my Instagram.
Oh, that's just my Instagram. Don't worry.
It's a black letter. I can't read that.
Well, it was funny. I was like, man, I don't want to put my signature on there because it's a bright orange box. And then I was like, I'll just put my Instagram at the bottom. It kind of looks like it's part of the ad, whatever,
Is it a recording patent that's written underneath the Coca-Cola? Like, did you actually capture the patent?
No, that's just like you're talking about this here?
Yeah.
This is pulled from this is pulled from an actual old Coke ad.
Okay.
And then I stuck it in. There's no way I was going to build a Coke. I might do some little paint. No, man. That was the time I had, man. I had only like 3 days to work on this, and I didn't have a lot of time during those 3 days, but I was satisfied for what I got, for sure.
It looks amazing.
Chat's funny. The comments are.
I haven't seen the comments yet. I can't see.
Yeah, I'm looking at the comments just getting through.
Wait, I didn't see Chad.
No, I said chat. Sorry.
Oh.
All right, it's a habit now.
Lauren says that I wonder if she really knows. Amazing. Because she was there while you were drawing it. Brittany said it's almost like I can smell his skin.
What she said?
I didn't see Chad. I think
I said chat.
He's got a sound on in the background, maybe.
That was me. I'm sorry. I was trying to pull it up, but I couldn't find out where to turn the audio off. I apologize.
There's a mute button in the bottom right corner. I did that too.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, what Brittany said was it's almost like I can smell the stench off of this one. Lauren replied to her, he smells like a fry daddy and cigarettes.
I really like Lauren's first comment. His name is Ronnie, and he has 5 non-working cars on cinder blocks in his head.
I missed that.
That was really good.
Another comic shop says, Gary, it's fantastic. It reminds him of the Nuka-Cola ads. Do you know
yeah.
Nuka-Cola?
The old ads from the Fallout.
Oh.
They did like the old classic vintage style ads, but of course it was post-apocalyptic, so it was it does. You get these weird mutant goat creatures and whatnot, just casually citizens.
Oh, and one more thing I did do on this, I actually used like an old overlay for it. So when I turn it off, like you get to see like the real colors that I use.
Oh, really?
When I add the overlay, it kind of gives it that
Oh, cool.
kind of dingy, like toned down look. I almost did like a zip-a-tone layer, so it was like printed in a magazine, but I was like, man, I gotta go to sleep, so I didn't.
Normally your stuff I find creepy in a scary way. This guy is just creepy like a creeper. Like, I don't want him to touch me or sit near me.
Don't go near that guy at the food court. Oh my gosh. But that's all she wrote on my end, guys. Thanks for checking it out.
That's great. I love him. I know I said he was gross, but I love him.
Like Uncle Frank, you know.
Oh my god. Now we're just gonna be comparing this Krampus to like someone's uncle or
Everybody
daddy.
can identify with him. Like,
I love how like people brought up like what he smelled like.
Right.
That's what cracked me.
No, he's harmless. He's just get through it.
Smelly and greasy and happy to bring you a Coke.
Right.
All right, y'all quit making fun of my Krampus.
All right, Sarah, we have you back now?
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. I am so sorry. I didn't know if you caught any of that. My webcam doesn't work on my laptop, so I use an old desktop, and I think downloading Zoom just gave it cancer. Like it's just working, and everybody's audio is coming in garbling. I was really trying to fix it, and it did not want to work. So I'm sorry, I can't get my video up, but I could probably still like screen share and talk at least.
Okay.
Leave it to all the technical difficulties to start when, after we go live, not before.
It happens. That's why it's live. If they can't take it, then whatever.
Exactly. One of our episodes, I think it was the first episode, as soon as I went to Facebook Live, Facebook signed me out and thought I was hacking my own account and made me change the password.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun. Yeah.
And you tested it beforehand, too.
I did.
Oh, no. But yes, I am back. Sorry I haven't been able to talk a lot, but nobody's audio is coming through very well. Gary, love the creepy uncle. Love the creepy uncle. So good.
His uncle's going to call him like, Gary, what the hell?
Yeah. Dude.
Now, Sarah, where are you coming to us from this time?
Ozark. So just south of Springfield a little ways. Relatively local.
Well, hey, if you want to share your screen, we're ready for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a moment. Let's see if that comes up. You guys see that?
Woohoo!
Nice.
Sexy eyes.
Look at that hunk.
What a fucking chat.
That's the kind of Krampus you ask out right there.
Yeah, I know.
Oh no.
That's my Krampus, the successful brother. That's
The one that hangs out at the college with a guitar, only knows 3 songs. He's like a cross between the Beast and Gaston.
Oh God, I feel like. Well,
It's not an
yeah.
insult. Please do not be insulted. It's good. I like it. It's awesome.
No, it's great. It's just that's something like I worry about too. I don't know why. My characters always come across really like polished, even when I try and be a little bit like grungier. And I'm just like.
But that's just how you produce it. You know,
Yeah.
Don't even worry about that.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It was still really fun though. I enjoyed it. The teeth were definitely very fun to do. It's a lot different from things I think anyway that I normally do. So it was definitely fun. Pretty much used one of the old Norman Rockwell Santa Coca-Cola ads for this one as reference. But it was.
I love his locks, like the detail on his beard and the individual strands. Like,
It took forever.
yeah, I bet. That's what I mean. It's impressive.
I think we were talking about before we went live how I peeked your Instagram and you knew your boys and you know how to build them different.
Oh no!
This only proves it.
Oh God, is Krampus on the boys list?
Yes.
Oh no!
You got the goat eyes, but in a way that's not like, I don't know. There's something about goat eyes, and you captured it, but then you also kind of avoided it to where he still has that glamour to him.
Oh, thank you. Kind of like
they're
direction
set
out.
like more human-like.
Right.
Yeah, it's like they're more appealing.
Like you could look past him. Like you could, like, well, I'll get over it.
I would probably walk towards that. You know, it's like, oh, okay, but no.
That beard, though.
Maybe that's why he's so dangerous.
Maybe. Yeah.
You cannot resist the Krampus.
Walk towards him until you saw that bloody sack.
Right.
Oh.
It's like, what is that?
Yeah.
But you can look past it because he's cute.
Yeah.
Probably nothing. I'm not
He's-
gonna.
It's probably
He's,
nothing.
he's got potential.
Well, does he have a job? Okay. Hey, Sarah, can you tell us? Can you tell us about your process, like how you did this?
Oh, yeah. Kind of all at once last night. I really didn't procrastinate. I mean, there's nothing super specific about my process. I've also because I'm still learning a lot. I've been doing traditional art since I was like 7, but I've really only been playing with digital art for about 10 months. So I don't exactly have a perfect process down yet. I just honestly kind of wing it most of the time.
You know, sometimes that's just how it is. And you're just in that. Yeah, you and Haley need to talk more because we were having a discussion. Was it a week or was it the week before? No.
Yeah, because I just recently got an iPad and Procreate like 4 months ago, and I had only done traditional, so I'm also like, you know, fresh blood to the digital art world and talking about
Right.
processes.
And
I'm just like,
And
oh,
now
no.
you're doing the same thing, right? Like you're kind of crossing over into the digital
yeah, trying
realm
to,
too.
Yeah.
it's just a lot easier to share with people. It's a lot
Yeah, I
easier.
see a lot of
to-
similarities between you then. I
Yeah.
forgot about that, Haley. Yeah, you were, we were talking, it's been a year since I've actually seen you and talked to you about that.
Yeah.
You have that big book with you all the time. That's
Yeah, that's
you're
big ass.
transitioning very well.
Yeah, and honestly, like I couldn't, if you hadn't told me that, like I would have believed you've been doing digital for years, Sarah. Like it looks great. Like it
I like the
doesn't.
texture work, like in the shirt
Yeah.
and the burlap in the
Oh,
back.
thank you.
Sometimes digital can look like really digital and it draws away from it, but you've nailed it.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Do
you.
you do like a rough sketch underneath this? Do you work in layers?
Oh yeah. Shoot, I don't know if I have like the unmerged version pulled up.
Oh, you don't have to break it down.
But oh yeah, I have my bad thing about digital is I get really comfortable with the Control Z's and the mini layers and the fixing all of my mistakes. And so yes, definitely always really blocky sketch, a bit of a cleaner sketch on top, you know, when it starts like skeletal sketch and then muscle shape sketch on top. Line art first, always the longest and most heartbreaking process.
What's heartbreaking about the line work part?
It really gets the carpal tunnel going.
Oh.
And then yeah, block colors. Recently, about like the kind of winging it, playing around, recently learned about clipping masks and how amazing they are.
Yeah.
So once colors are blocked, I can just blow through the rest of it. That part goes by so quickly.
When James taught me to use clip mask when I was doing my base paintings, like, oh my God, it saved me so much time after that. Oh my, it was amazing. I would have kissed him on the mouth if it would. God, it cut my time down so much, man.
It really did. It saved me so much time, and it just always ends up being cleaner too, because I'll go in afterwards and like have to clean up, find, oh, what layer is that on? Like go through all the layers until I find which one it's on to like clean up what's outside line art. But yeah, that's probably my favorite tool right now in Photoshop. And I
Boys
think it's called
in internet land. Save your files and name your layers.
Yes.
we all have not done that. So.
Oh yes.
It's that really dread feeling in your stomach when you realize you've been working on the wrong layer for like 30 minutes and you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
I'm curious, is there an average number for like a piece of art of how many layers you end up with, or is it different for everyone?
It's different.
I could take it apart and have like a template, but there's always something while I'm doing one thing I'm thinking, oh, I could add this little thing, but I don't have the confidence to just add it, so I add another layer for this one specific highlight, and then another highlight over here, and the next thing I know, there's like another 12 that I didn't account for.
Yeah.
Unnamed, but that's just me.
I work one layer. I still have not used to layers in general. So.
Really? You did all that on one layer? That's extremely impressive.
Layers will sometimes make me a little bit nervous. Like I do like what Nate said, where if I'm not sure like about something, you do it on a separate layer so you can do that view and unview like a few times to really make sure. But I like to blend everything in. It makes me uncomfy when I can't. You know, it feels like they're not touching almost in my brain. I need it to all be touching.
Getting close, Lack.
Brittany says he's giving her Old Spice commercial vibes.
That's a good point, yeah.
Now look at me. Now look at your man. Now look back at me.
Now look back at me. Never mind the bag. What's in the bag? Forget the bag.
Don't worry about the bag. It's a Coke commercial or a beard shampoo commercial.
Now, this is a non-Shave Club ad.
And I do like it because it's like it's kind of soft, and then you look downwards, and you're like, oh my God, that bag. And that's what it kind of. It's that jump. I think it's awesome.
That's only strike 2. We're still in.
Yeah. Does he have a job?
I think if we can get somebody from Coca-Cola to take a look at this video on YouTube, they may have a new sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
We're full Krampus now. I mean,
totally
2020,
untapped
come
market
on.
with Krampus material.
He's perfect for 2020 ads.
Oh no, we've brought corporate down.
Say that like it's a bad thing. Come on.
Yeah, this is great stuff. That line work is really good, really clean too.
Oh, thank you. I
know,
don't,
Jeff, I'm not gonna
obsess
sing the
over
Cast
it
On song.
for hours or anything. That's my bane. I take way too long on line art. I'm constantly trying to find ways to make it go by faster, and so far nothing.
There is no faster.
Well, I mean, it's
Get better.
it's nice to have like time to work on things, but it's also I have working under deadlines is a skill. This is a really important skill. Like if you want to do art for any reason, and so finding ways to like maximize the amount of time you actually have to do something. So important.
But if you get it on time,
when you
it's
guys
not
have
that great. You're still okay, Like,
I think you guys need deadlines because I know artists that if you didn't have a deadline, you would never stop working on it. You would
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
the problem isn't starting. Once we have it in our head, we have to get it done, but then we won't stop picking at it until
Until we
get it out of
kill
my
it.
life, please, so I can move on.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, sorry.
That one comment we all had where Dana was like, well, why do I, should I even send it out now if you guys only spend the last 3 days working on it? And we're all like, no, we need the week to think about it.
Yeah, that's the hardest, most time-consuming part for me. It's just wrapping my head around what I'm going to do. Once it's there in my head, I'm like, all I have to do is just create it.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, coming up with the idea, it takes a couple days before I really formulate what I want to go off of. If I plan on using references, finding references, it takes a day or two before you even start working on a piece to kind of prep for it.
That's
By
fun.
the way, I want to make a note of the vintage greeting card layout that you chose for this with the oval. It's very Bob Ross kind of Christmas card. Like you masked it off with tape and then pulled it off after,
Thank you. I may go in. I was running out of time. I may go in and add some lettering later because I do feel like it needs almost like a holiday card, a little lettering of some sort.
Holiday card my grandma would give me.
Yes. You're a really cool grandma.
Well, I mean, just the oval. She loved oval shapes. Apparently, I don't.
Love it.
Awesome, Sarah. Great job on your first. I can't wait to see more.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You must come back for verses.
Yeah, once you're in the Pen Clique, we don't let you leave.
Yeah.
There's only one way out.
You know that you're gonna have to go back and redo all the other prompts, though.
Oh no!
And we'll do a full episode on just you.
Is that like our
Oh my god!
Surprise!
This is where is everybody?
Okay, Anna, would you like to show your art now?
Yeah.
I was hoping you wouldn't say no.
Could you
No.
imagine? That'd be
And
such
And then
an
you're coming from Springfield too tonight, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh,
Awesome.
so cute.
I love it, Tom.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're referencing, and you totally made it yours. I like that a lot.
That's pretty wicked.
That's great.
That's well done. I like that a lot.
Thanks.
As soon as it popped up, I know that's ancient.
It makes me think of old Betty Boop. Little
Flash
cartoons.
almost.
Yeah.
They took the Pied Piper storybook drawings from I don't know, from so long ago, and then just changed the colors to make him look like a demon. He had these, he had the kids, but he had that really long snaky tongue, just like that. Oh, it was weird what they came up with.
Yeah, when I was doing research and looking up images and stuff, one of the things that was mentioned was the long tongue and everything. It's like horror is not my thing, so I still wanted to make them creepy, so I kind of went a different direction with it, you know?
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I also looked up like some old Santa Coke ads and everything, and one of the phrases that came up was the pause that refreshes, and I thought that would actually fit nicely with the image that I did. This one this is actually digital. It's like, it's not the first image I've done digital, but you know, it's like I actually did, you know, I did the line art, and I didn't have time to really do any shading, but you know, so got more
How
of
all
a
girls
flat.
are first-time digital artists or like newbie digital artists.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, it's like kind of sort of a newbie at it. It's like I usually end up doing digital versions of all my stuff. It's just they just don't always end up online, because that's what I use to, you know, figure out my coloring, shadings. You know, I can play around with it and go from there.
Do you think his tongue is
yeah.
always out like that because he just can't keep it in his mouth? Like, does he roll it up? He's like, this is my life now.
It's a really good thought, Nate.
I'm just saying, like, it's impressive, but it's like, I don't envy it at all either.
Or does it like retract like a tape measure? Like,
like, sir, your tongue's hanging.
I mean, you guys have seen Gene Simmons. I mean,
Yeah, I keep thinking it needs kiss makeup.
yeah.
I also like that you use that Coke logo, because that's a logo that you don't see a lot, and I don't think any of us have used yet tonight, not so far. That's really, I saw that, I was like, oh, she used that version of that logo. That's really, really interesting. So I like that. And you match the fonts and everything. I think it's great. Yeah, I love the, I love how he's just like, almost just like this, like shitty, like, yeah, what you gonna do? And I would have loved to have seen you like add like the cell shading to that too.
Right.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go back and finish it. You know, it's like I want to finish it.
Yeah.
So
Kicking back and relaxing on a bag of possibly bodies. Like, or
yeah, I'll probably if I go back, I'll tweak some stuff, and you know, there was actually more I wanted to add. I may or may not add the other stuff, but I'll probably go back and at least, you know, do the shading and stuff like that.
See, from the marketing standpoint, looking at it, it looks like he's this horrible, evil monster, but even a Coke, he can pause and refresh himself with a Coke and have a moment of happiness.
Excellent
go back to what he
marketing.
was doing.
You know, it's crazy. I could just, it's not even crazy. I could just see like, well, you don't want to get sued by Coke, so you might take that part out. But I could just see like just that image of him on that bag, like on a centered piece on a T-shirt or something like that.
Yeah, or like a window stick, like a window cleaner, like window vinyl.
It's very, very remarkable.
Yeah.
Very remarkable.
Now, Lauren says she's very Joan Jett meets Joan Collins.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
That's great, Anna.
Yeah, very well done.
Very.
I think you guys who are all working on digital, getting into the digital realm, you guys should all talk to each other. Or you can come, you know, come to the group, but you know, we'll talk about it right now.
No, it's Girls only, no boys invited.
Right.
That's fair.
All right. Next up, how about Christopher? You ready?
Yes, I am ready. Sorry.
That's all right. Where are you coming from tonight?
I am from Kansas City.
Okay.
Quaint little city up here in Kansas.
Christopher, what's your dog's name?
Dobby. The house,
Dobby.
the house elf.
He almost seemed like he sighed before he said it.
We're big Potterheads in this house, so.
Yeah. I just saw him pop up on the screen earlier and made my heart skip a little bit.
Bear with me. I just bought a new drawing tablet and I'm getting used to it, so.
Awesome.
Oh my goodness.
Oh wait, hold on. This isn't
I was gonna
it.
say that's
We had to do an image, and you did an entire story.
Yeah, my
right.
bad.
Wow, way to make us all look terrible.
It still wasn't
It's
you.
like, I officially feel lazy now.
Good night, folks.
Yeah.
All right. So unfortunately, the idea I have is one of those ideas that just kind of like eats away at your brain, and I really want to work on it longer, but I just did not have time to. So I just did. This is kind of like I work in a lot of I do mostly traditional art, but I typically start with like a rough sketch, and then I do like a loose pencils, and then I do like a tight pencils, and then I transfer it all, and then I ink it. So this is like the loose pencils, like just kind of right after my initial idea.
Mm-hmm.
So I envisioned, like I said, I'm gonna try to keep all my drawings in the same theme. So I wanted like a cyberpunk kind of Scandinavian looking ad that would be like, if you're at like some kind of bar, like it could easily be for like some kind of band or for like just a weird advert. Like if this cyberpunk creature existed, it was like mawing children. And so I wanted to keep the costume fairly similar, fairly like to its roots. And so you can kind of see I'm starting to put like small strokes and little bits of detail to kind of build it up. And I wanted to have like this kind of like a more demonic face, and I'm gonna have like a big tongue coming out of it. You can see I kind of started drawing it a bit, and then I just stopped. But I wanted to have a kind of an Asian feel, like, you know, a lot of
yeah, I do get a samurai feel from the head, almost like the samurai helmet.
And I'm gonna have these like big chains coming in from the foreground, pulling into the background, and you can kind of see I started drawing the children. I'm gonna have them all being murdered like very violently, and so like I have like in the back like a little kid and his head's been sliced off, and I'm gonna have just weird, I don't know, just other odd. Oh, sorry. Can you hear every time I do that?
Yeah.
It's like a cyberpunk like Christmas condom ad. That's
So I just wanted to have like, you can even see like in the background of like the kids in his backpack, and they're trying to escape, but all the chains are going to be like going through all of them, and it's just going to be too small. It's going to be sorry, I wasn't joking. Brand new pen, it's messing me up.
Hit Control-0.
It's like an actual, like you draw on it. Like I'm looking at it on the screen.
Okay.
I think I just blew it up.
Do you plan on like, are you gonna finish that out?
I am. I'm gonna finish this just for. I don't do a lot of art just for myself, but I like this idea, so I think I just blew up Photoshop. So we'll just convert over to this.
He kind of has that. It looks like a. Maybe I'm just looking at it wrong, but it looks like a post-apocalyptic or like cyberpunk fisher trapper.
Yeah, I wanted to
like
have this kind of like industrial feel where it'd be like a working class kind of antagonist. And so yeah, you can see more of the kids, and like I really wanted to help push the scale of it, so I try to make like the chains from the background pushing to the foreground to create a little bit more depth. And I'll add all kinds of fun details in drawing it. So the advert part is for Coca-Cola, I'm gonna have like old kind of oil canisters strapped around them, and like have like bottles hanging off of them. And I think in his left hand he'll probably be holding a Coke bottle. And I don't really see the marketing message behind it, but I think it'd be a good advert.
Coca-Cola,
like,
deal with it.
yeah, like this dude's drinking Coke to slay your children. So that's really it. I'm gonna do better pencils and go from there.
I love those kids in the background. Like,
Yeah.
Low-key, high-key. I think that's my favorite thing I've seen so far. It's just the kids getting yeeted.
I was gonna say, could you zoom in on the kids
Yeah,
in the
let me see.
background?
So I learned a trick with
It's
drawing
so
kids
morbid.
is just make their head bigger than you think it should be. So like, because proportionally wise, their heads are, you know, bigger than average.
Lead with the weight of their head.
So they're going to be surprised by what's going on. And I don't know if they'll all be naked, but I'll probably put like traditional, like, well, I guess it'd have to be like futuristic clothes on them, but yeah.
Oh, dude, I almost think you should stick with like the traditional Norman Rockwell style old world.
Just all the pockets and the vest he's wearing, it looks like he's, you know, he was just noodling, or you know, like he just got off the lake.
Well, I imagine too, the colors, I'm going to do like a really bright kind of orange background. And like, I think it'd look really dope having like a kind of a teal coloring scheme for him, and then make the chains like coming from the foreground in like a really saturated kind of like cyan. So I have like this really cool like complementary colors.
That'd be great.
Dude.
But yeah, let's check on Photoshop, see if I still broke it. Oh, there we go. But that's it. Oh, the other thing is just I'm working on a short story for a book that my buddies make. We can get a little teaser of it.
Yeah, I was like, I think all of us were like that far from our screen. And then,
There was so much in that already.
Yeah.
Still working on it. That blows me.
Yeah, that's cool. I can't wait to see it finish. That's gonna be so
It'll be cool. I like it so far.
It looks so cool.
And it's like, it's hard. So I draw on really big paper. So hold on, let me see.
I was gonna ask you how big that was.
So,
that's really big.
And I'm 6'4" for reference.
No way.
This is like, I think it's 14 by 18, 13 by 18. I can't remember, but this paper, if you guys need a recommendation, I bought it from like a art paper store. It's like almost cotton, and it has like this really like textured surface to it. It's a little pricey. It's the best damn paper I've ever put a pencil on, though. It's made by Strathmore. It's their 500 series paper.
Yeah.
I think 15 sheets was like 20-ish bucks, maybe. So it's not outrageous, but it's only comes with 10 sheets, so it's adds up pretty quick.
Okay. I got lost in the discussion for a second. I was like,
we're gonna talk about paper.
Nerding out about paper is a rabbit hole of its own. It's
oh yeah, don't get me started on art supplies.
Oh no. So, especially, I can't use any other comic board except Blue Line Pro. I just can't. It's
yeah,
so hard.
that's one of the better ones.
Yeah, it's so hard to use the other stuff. Like I like that, and I like manga paper too because it's very smooth and it like holds lead really well. But like I can't do anything except Blue Line Pro. Blue Line Pro is just it is king of comic boards, man. It's like the perfect art board for comics.
Do you get the one that has like indicators on the margins and stuff on it too?
Yeah.
I just it's invaluable. It saves so much time.
Yeah, it's
Let's see.
Yeah.
Reynolds.
Nerds.
Sorry, nerd alert.
And you guys can see all of this art equipment they're talking about if you come see them at Visioncon.
That's true.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
Touch our paper.
Wait, don't touch the paper. Don't
Feel
look
that on
at
your
it.
face.
Yeah, you might hear me say, please don't touch that, actually. Please refrain from touching it.
I'm the guy that's like, look, it's got a soft feel laminate on my book, and I've got people rubbing my book on their face. Like, it feels like a dolphin. Now I can have that back if you're not going to pay for it. Thank you.
Right.
Oh, that's good COVID practices there. Yeah.
Well, now they have to keep it, so you know. Like, no.
Well, Nate, you're up.
Am I? Oh, okay.
You're up. You're our last entry this evening.
Oh, I'm the headliner. It's overrated.
And where are you coming from? You're here in Springfield.
I'm in Springfield, yeah.
Okay.
Missouri. All right, let me see. Okay. Boink. Okay, so this isn't it. This is the reference.
That's the quote. That's
Yeah.
what's
There's actually a story behind this. When I was a kid, and I think my aunt had a bunch of magazines and stuff. She still collects them. But give and take, say I. It's one of those things where I don't remember a time where I didn't. I didn't believe in Santa. Like I realized, like, oh, there isn't one. You know, it's not like there's a moment. It's just kind of gradually happened. But it came down to like, you know, my parents are locking the doors, expecting company. Like what person would be willing to have company in the middle of the night while you're asleep, but then still lock the door? So is he breaking into our house? Like he's eating our cookies, but what else is he taking? And so when I saw this ad, it just kind of clicked. Like, what else is he eating? What else is he, you know? So I was making Count of My Ninja Turtles, you know. So give and take, say I. It was one of those things I couldn't really make sense of it back then. But like, he gives something, he takes something. Like, what did you take? You know. So this was the ad that stuck with me whenever this prompt came up. So when that was the one that I wanted to recreate. When I did mine.
Oh.
And it was kind of in reference to the fact that like I like the idea that Santa and Krampus are like they're part of the same team, like they work together. It's a job. So for him to just kind of like just show up, he's got this respectful suit. He's got to do he shows up, he does his thing, but you know, like he's still Krampus. So you know he's got I don't know, he's just taking advantage of somebody's Coke and their child's arm. I don't know. Taking a break for a snack and he hears something like but in this one of the big things I wanted to do was I wanted to use colors I don't normally use. And it was easy for me to go in the goat. I love the big, like huge ram horn kind of look.
Yeah.
So that was really fun to draw. I wanted to use colors that I don't really use. I kind of took a page from Yarbrough and Harris here, Christopher, in the sense that you guys use like colors that, you know, and I actually had I had a couple other colors and I was like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? What do you think of this? Because I know what you're going for. So with her help, I settled on this and it worked out really well, especially with the red, I think. And then the contrast with the green, I thought it came together pretty well. But and then of course goat eyes. I Google searched goat eyes for about 20 minutes.
Love the goat eyes.
And it's like, not only are they creepy, but like they're usually wonky. Like they're just like is he looking off to the side or is he looking right at me? I don't know. So I deliberately made him a little his eyes, like he's like, you know, maybe you heard something and he's like interrupting his snack or
a little annoyed by it too.
But I like the idea of him being like he was just another like blue collar, you know, just doing his job.
Just have a little hoagie and a coffee outside.
Right. If the kids are like, whoa, it's okay. I'm just here for your sister.
Yeah. Now's not the time, kid. I'm on
Right.
break.
I like pinkies up.
The pinky up. He's a
Pinky is
gentleman. Yeah. And
I
then,
don't know. Does anyone else feel like it's got kind of a Grinch vibe to him?
Oh,
Yeah, dude,
that's exactly it.
yeah,
A little
that's
bit.
awesome.
That's the other side of it. Yeah, was
It looks like you were watching maybe the Chuck Jones version of the Grinch while working on him. And
I
maybe,
wasn't, but when it was done, whenever I got the colors in, it definitely, yeah, I totally was like, yeah, this is a Grinch kind of. Because here's the thing, like if you look, you know, a lot of you captured the vintage painted look, like the you know that the saturated colors and the painted look and everything, you know. And it's not to say that I couldn't do that. I just knew that like it would take me forever. Like I would be learning.
yeah.
And that would take too long. So I just stuck to with what I knew, and what I know or what I'm familiar with is like what you might see in like animation or something, you know, with a little extra here and there because I don't have to worry about animating it. So naturally, it even felt like a Grinch kind of. So even, you know, like in that moment when Cindy Lou Who sees the Grinch, you know, and he's just like. And he's just, you know, he's not evil. I mean, yeah, he is. He's just upset. He's mad, but he's, you know, he's just there to do a job and leave. And that's kind of
He didn't choose to be born to be Krampus.
right.
He's gotta go with it.
He's equal parts of the system that, you know, is built not in his favor. Like it's,
The system, not the man. Come on.
you didn't choose the Krampus life. The Krampus life says, you know.
I love that deer in the background. It was just like the entire thing.
Okay, so here's a fun fact. I actually stole that mantle from a Potbelly Mammoth comic that I did.
Right.
It's in volume 2. No, it's in volume 1. No, it's in volume 1. It's in the book.
Where can they get volume 1, Nate?
On the website at potbellymammoth.com.
There you go.
At least until cons start up, and then you can see me in person.
So
But yeah, I think in like
made
issue
this
1.
real. You've just made it real. You just told us what living room he is in. It actually exists in your comic.
Yeah, it's actually that's the cabin in my parents' cabin in the story. And I lied. It's in volume 2 on Patreon at potbellymammoth.com. Patreon. I'm sorry. I'm my content's all mixed up in my head. But I'm actually in this part of the series on Patreon in volume 2, about halfway through volume 2. So sorry, my bad. But yeah, that deer, I have him saved separately, so I can use him for other things. I actually have a T-shirt design of just that deer because that look on his face, that look in his eye, was one of the biggest comments about it. Like, never mind, you know, the groundbreaking material I was writing. That freaking like, whatever.
Sorry to bring up that trauma.
No, it's perfectly fine. You know, whatever. I'm just glad that somebody enjoyed it.
I love it.
The story that my dad didn't even shoot that deer. It was actually the deer that my dog found from somebody else's yard and drug into our yard and he mounted. Is the story behind it.
I do like that you took the risk and like played with colors that you never played with before, and you were doing it in an animation style, like producing like an animator, using a technique that painters would use. And that's really cool how like you took that and then you interpreted it into how like an animator would go about using those colors and applying those colors, if that makes any sense.
It does. I appreciate that. It's like me trying to bridge a gap between, you know, and that's I appreciate that. That's cool. That means a lot.
Normally you can't bridge those gaps super fast.
Yeah. Or it's just way too expensive when it's all said and done to be like, oh yeah, we can't. That was just frame 1, dude. Like, oh. We got to do this 60 times a second. Oh. Or 24 rather, but you know, too much.
But I like it, dude. I like that. I know that deer's from the comic strip. It has to.
Yeah. I took the mantle from, you know.
I love that though.
Harder, not smarter, or smarter, not harder.
Yeah, see? Mammoth verse. See, you guys didn't even know. Mammoth verse.
So how do I get out of this thing? I had this problem before.
You stop sharing screen.
You'll see like a little thing pop up. It might be on your second monitor, though.
Oh, there it is. You're right. I did this last time too, didn't I? Okay.
Awesome. That's everybody.
Everybody?
I'm always amazed at how different the same topic can be taken on. I love how you guys all have these different points of view and they come out so beautifully through your art.
And like the homework you guys do, it's just nuts, you know. We're doing, you know, our show, and you guys are putting in the effort of doing research and looking at stuff. And I feel that's because you guys really enjoy these prompts, and that it helps you with whatever it helps you with. For me personally, it's, you know, I get to produce more and I get to do something that I like and share it with everyone. You know, it's not like, oh, it's like a deadline I have to meet. There is a deadline, but it's for fun. And we get to share and look at each other's work, and it keeps me fast too. It's like,
yeah, like
like
Sarah was saying, it's like, it's just good practice, you know, to get good at having to do art with a deadline.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's something I've never had to do before. And the pressure to show art to like other artists, especially professional ones, also is a really great motivator and a pusher. Like getting feedback, being able to see everyone else's styles and see their thought processes. And
oh yeah, it's very inspirational.
It's insane. And seeing like also with the polls, like what the general public wants as well. Like it's really funny to see what people land on. That people are terrible in the best way, and I love it. I'm here for it.
I think this process has been really interesting in the sense that it kind of gives a more open view of the process on our side of the table whenever people request things of us. In the sense that, first of all, they should feel better that their requests are not as weird as they think they are. They're almost ashamed to be like, I know it's weird, but it's important. Like, what do you think? You know, and it's like, well, look, this is not the weirdest thing I've ever drawn. Because some things I don't draw like until I get home. Like they get so weird. But like you get an idea of like some of the processes of like how we think and why certain things. I mean, not just a time frame or you know, like why we ask the questions that we ask whenever we get commissions, and it's not, and we don't judge you at all, like, or we don't really like, oh, interesting. Have I ever done this before? Absolutely not. Most of the work I do on a daily basis for clients, chances are I have never done anything like what they asked me. I just have the skill set to I know I can, I just haven't before.
Right.
So this process and watching these videos hopefully kind of gives you some insight on like, we don't know, we just know we don't know. I mean, I can't say we don't know what we're doing. We make it up with what we do know. And each of us have a completely different approach. And it's still like in the end, when the dust settles, everything still comes out well, you know, like it's okay to not really know where to start. You just, I mean,
it's also really nice. I mean, especially with like COVID going on, you don't get to go out as much as and see people. So that's really nice. But, you know, like you always think you're the only person in the world with the problem that you have. And you like, how could I possibly solve this? Because it's only my problem. And then come to see, you know, everyone else and their mother has that same problem. You're no different. And it's nice to see how people work through that. So.
I mean, it sounds a little sad, but I know exactly what you mean. That's
yeah.
Yeah. How has we'll do this as a round table here. And I'll start with Sarah. No, you know what? No, I'm gonna start with Sarah, and then I'm gonna go with Harris. How has art and doing art helped you through the pandemic this year?
Oh my Lord, so much. Because this was also the year that I started playing with digital art anyway. It was almost perfectly pre-pandemic. It was in like February, and then the world ended in March. So I had like a month of it, and I had to be like immediately in quarantine for like 3 weeks, and I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna get kind of good at this. And it's definitely helped with like any time I've had to be on quarantine or lockdown or anything over this past year. And it's so terrible, but there are parts about this year that are like an introvert's dream.
Oh my God. I know exactly how you feel.
I know, like whenever I got told, because I was actually visiting my brother in Colorado, like when the lockdown happened, when the national lockdown happened. And so when I came back, and so I had to quarantine for like 3 weeks. And part of me was really bummed out. And then part of me was so giddy because it's like, I can just stay in my room, order takeout, and draw all day long.
You don't have to think about like having to get up in the morning. Like, I think the like sometimes frustrating thing about a creative process is that it's on its own schedule, and some people don't know it, or like it's just so weird compared to maybe like a typical work day. So having the freedom of having like a typical work schedule removed, you know, and just you don't have to think about anything else except drawing. It's great.
Oh, absolutely. Because there will be times where I like get the bug, as I call it, and I have an idea and I want to start working on it so bad, but I have work for the next couple of days or school for the next couple of days. And then by the time I actually get home and sit down, I'm tired and I don't really want to draw anymore.
I had sticky notes.
So it's part of the pain as being an art, as art being like your hobby and not your career, because I really am just like a hobby artist. It's not something I'm necessarily pursuing as a career. I do have a couple of like books, potential graphic novels in my mind, but they're nowhere near being put on paper yet. And it's something I'd like to eventually do, but as of right now, I call myself a hobbyist. I'm just a hobby artist.
Man, I was like talking to someone about it too, about how sometimes like people almost look down when like your skill and you've not accepted, but like you're okay with it being a hobby. I feel like there's sometimes some pressure where it's like, you're just so talented. Why wouldn't you make that your career? It's like, well, because I don't want to. Like, sometimes like I just want to do art. You know? Like, I don't want to have to think of it as a career. It's fun.
Yeah, and that's my thing. I'm so, like, I enjoy this because it is forcing me to kind of work with a deadline, and that is probably one of my biggest issues. I have turned down so many commissions because of a mortal fear of deadlines. And that's when I knew that's when I knew it's like, okay, maybe this can't be your career, but it can still be your hobby.
At the same time, it's not like you have people lined up out the door ready to give you a full living wage to do art.
Oh yeah, it's very
difficult. Why aren't you doing this full time? Like, believe me, I would. It's not for a lack of trying.
Oh yeah, that too. It is hard. It is very hard to find people who want to pay you for your art.
I mean, overall, I think, you know, I'm lucky in the sense that nobody hesitates to offer, you know, like they understand it's, you know, it's what I do. But at the same time, everybody understands the world, like you said, ended. So, you know, I've been fortunate that, you know, nobody's given me gruff to, you know, to do anything for free or for nothing or for exposure. I mean, it happens, but I've been spared for the most part.
That's good.
That's an interesting look, being able to look at it and say, hey, I want to do this as a hobby and be fine with that. That's
commendable.
It's commendable. That's very commendable. Because it's like the moment I do something, I'm like, well, this is the rest of my life now, you know, and then like I learned how to braid my hair. Like, oh, this is what I do now, you know, and no, this is my personality though.
You can be whatever you want to be when you grow up. As it kind of killed hobbies, I think. So I love it. hobbies.
I see. I'm the one that will say we'll go to Harris's response here, but I think it's always healthy to have a balance between the two. If you want it as a career, it's like, you know, it is kind of weird when your hobby and your job are kind of, you know, the same, or they live in the same neighborhood. So I always try to keep it to where, you know, I do my contract work and I work as like a creative director or something, or work as a designer somewhere, because one just fuels the other one. And I feel like they both make me better as an artist, but it's just something like, if you want to do it professionally, I mean, just get out there, just establish yourself, start small, don't feel bad about doing small stuff, and then working it from there. That's just what it is. You know, you got to start somewhere, but don't let someone take you to the cleaners either. Know your value, know your worth. You know.
And don't burn candles at both ends. Like, don't feel obligated to juggle everything at once. Like, if you're feeling burnout, like, it never ends well. Like, step aside from something. If you.
That's why we didn't finish college.
Again, it wasn't for a lack of trying. It was just, you know.
$16,000 worth of trying. It's okay.
What about you, Harris, man? How's art helped you through the pandemic?
I have kind of a mixed reaction, because art to me is like a compulsion where I have to do it. I can't not do it. And like, even when I tried to do less, I end up doing the same amount. So I envy the people that are able to separate that feeling, because it is triggering to me to, like, if you could see my art desk and the amount of commissions and sequentials and stuff I'm working on right now, you would feel sad for me, because it's a good and bad thing, where I'm fortunate where I have a decent demand and I get a lot of work, but I'm like, sometimes I just want to like light everything on fire that I've drawn, or I just want to just burn it all down and just stop. But it does help me. Like, world building, I think, is the most important thing in comic books. And you hear that phrase used a lot when they just mean like having a very intricate narrative. And I think it's more than that. Like, people that know my art know I like to create, like, my storytelling and my images is like the biggest thing I do. Like, I put a lot of details and things, and I use really unique colors, but like every single image you see of mine, it like has a story behind it. Like, you don't need to see more to it. So it's like a form of escapism to me. So it has helped me when I'm stressed from like my day job, but when I'm stressed from like working on a comic book and I still got to work on the comic book, it's kind of been painful, but I love it though. It's not something that I don't resent it at all. So I think it's something that, you know, if you like doing it, you should do it. And if art to me is a skill, and so I don't care what skill level you are, if you just keep practicing and you just, you know, find people you respect that will be critical of you and you can take it, you'll be as good as you want to be. Like, it's literally, that's how it works. It's just, that's a very difficult process and it takes forever. So yeah, that's really it. But yeah, I love it. It has helped me, and it has made more gray hair grow every single day.
I just thought you found some and stuck it on.
All right, I think it's time we need to enter our plug zone, because we're getting close to 10 o'clock. So plug zone, for everybody that's new to the Pen Clique, is where our artists get to tell you where you can find them, tell you what they're doing right now that you've got to look out for, because you have to see it, because they're amazing, as you've just seen in this show. So Gary, let's start with you.
All right. Well, you know what? No, I don't go first and I don't go last, and it's just about our other
I
artists.
thought that was just the art, man.
So Gary Bedell's not doing anything. That's
no. I want to you guys first. For sure, I'd rather for you guys to plug yourselves first. So.
Okay, let me go down the list of the same order we did, because I always forget when depending on which screen I'm looking at, we're all in different squares.
Yeah.
Pretty much actually there.
So who went
We
first?
insist
Adam
on
went
pointing
first,
still. All right.
but Adam's not here. So James, what have you got going on right now, and where can everybody find you?
But the only online presence I have is the Instagram, and it's Hitsu at 𝗏𝗏𝗃99, 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. It's basically Japanese for sheep. I've been thinking about doing something a little bit more with logo because my initials spelled jar, and we got the sheep, so I'm thinking about doing a sheep in a jar as a logo.
So cool.
That sounds awesome.
As far as anything going on, you know, we had some people show us that you could do some 2D animation in Blender, so I've been farting around with that. Been having some people telling me I should do a fight scene 2D animated, so I've been thinking about working on that as well. And that's about all I got going on right now.
That would tie into next month's Pen Clique.
We'll draw still images, but you do an entire animation. Have fun.
I'll draw one punch. Yeah. With that.
Credits.
Punch and a follow through.
Hey, I would love to see that, man. Okay, who is next? Haley, what are you working on? Where can we find you?
I really am actually now just kind of relaxed. I had a good little flood of commissions like right as quarantine hit. So it was like perfect timing as well, but those have finally all calmed down. So now I'm starting to focus more on stuff that I just like to draw. Like, I don't think I've just spent 3 weeks drawing something that I just want to. So that's my plan, and that's what I'm doing. Recently opened up a 𝗖𝗍 website. I don't know if anyone here is familiar with 𝗖𝗍 terribly. It's like Redbubble, but not as shitty. And I
Heard that.
from 𝗖𝗍 constantly for presents for friends and stuff for myself, and it's just a place for you to put your artwork, and you can buy products like mugs and prints, and you can get it printed on like hoodies, and generally each shop kind of has its own selection. But I've always loved the company. They treat the artists great, so I finally opened up a shop, and it'll just be 𝗖𝗍6.com/cyanraw, because I opened it in high school and then had to re-find my account, and we're using my high school name. So that's what we have. And then also Instagram at @CyanStash, which was also opened in high school. So that's what we got. And that's my online presence.
Awesome.
Okay, awesome. Who went next? Eric, you were the next in line tonight.
So Facebook and Instagram as 𝗏𝗏𝗃. Currently taking a break from comics. If you want to see this next project, you mind if I share my screen again for a second?
Go for it.
So, see.
Whoa. Oh,
Wow.
So I did this Art Nouveau skate deck several years ago, and kind of decided that I just wanted to get back into it. So I've scheduled some figure drawing sessions with a couple models and such, and we're going to try to rock some new ones out. Those are going to be super cool.
Yeah, man.
Love it.
That's dope.
Great.
Are you going to be sharing those on your Instagram so we can see them as you do them?
It's definitely going to be up on Instagram.
Okay, Gary, you presented next. Is it your turn? Do you want to talk about yourself? Because we don't have to talk about you.
It's all good.
Over it.
Give the rundown. Artist 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗀 on Instagram, artist𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗀.com, Facebook, same thing. You can find me and the guys, 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗀 on Facebook, 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗀. See us on the Visioncon site. GraveyardSlaughter.com. You can get a copy of Graveyard Slaughter. or get a commission for myself or Adam or a sketch cover. So I looked over there like he was over there or something.
No, it's just me.
No, hey, man. But yeah, you can do that. You can go to my site. I have my art book 𝗏𝗺, digital copies for $5, and I'm going to be putting my sketchbook 1 as a digital copy up here pretty soon. It'll also be $5, and you can also get physical copies of 1 and 2. I will be releasing in 2021. Actually, 2 and 3 I will be releasing in 2021. And if you're not familiar with 1, it's a collection of my sketches that are unpublished. So, and that's all she wrote.
Very nice, very nice. Sarah, our newbie for the night. What are you working on right now, and where can we find you?
Well, you can find me. I really only post on Instagram as well, and it's at 𝗏𝗺𝗺 1996. That's 𝗏𝗺𝗺𝗺 1996. And as far as working on, like I said, hobby artist, just kind of do it for fun. But I am kind of, as the aforementioned, I do have stories that I maybe think one day I would like to turn into a graphic novel. And I have been posting a lot of character development pieces. And so if you want to see me develop my original characters, you would just follow it. And I just kind of post them all as I go. And that's the main thing right now, is just kind of working on my own stuff. Like I said, I'm horrendous with commissions. I do not do them. I sometimes do prints on request, but not really any commission work.
Okay. Anna, what's going on with you right now?
Okay. I'm, just doing my own stuff right now. You can find me on DeviantArt. It's deviantart.com /lowercase AOI -RYU. I also have an account on Tumblr, and which is AOI-RYU-01.tumblr.com. You can find me there, as well as on Pinterest, which is pinterest.com // AOI RYU /. Most of the stuff I post is going to be on DeviantArt, but I'll submit stuff to the other 2 accounts. So.
Awesome.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
And all that info is actually on the picture that for this picture that we did tonight.
I'm so jealous of everyone that did that and did such a good job at promoting. God damn it.
Yeah, it's okay. I didn't even sign mine.
I keep reminding people to do that. I forget that we have newcomers.
I know it's the second episode. You told me, like, well, the other artists are doing it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So she caught me just before we went on and told me.
Well, yeah, if you guys want to add that stuff and repost your picture in the drive, that's the one I'll use on the Facebook album.
Yeah.
And it'll have all your stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying, Sarah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, you can like add it and then just save it into the Google Drive.
Okay, Christopher, how about you? You just told us you had a million things going on.
Yes. Fortunately, I'm happy.
But it's all on fire now.
Soon to be. You can find me on Instagram. It's just my first name, middle initial, last name, Christopher A. Harris. And then on, what's the other one? Twitter, it's Christoph2099@live.com. Or I think it might just be Christoph2099. I don't remember how Twitter works. Full disclosure, I post like 1,000 posts in like a 3-day period, and then I'm a ghost for weeks. But sometimes I'll be in the groove and I'll do the networking thing or the smart artist thing and post every day, but it doesn't happen very often.
Don't feel bad, dude. I'm the same way.
I can't do it. It kills me.
Twitter is I don't know. It's not fun.
No.
Agreed.
Twitter's like, you know, at fast food restaurants, do you know where they dump the old grease into that bucket behind the trash can?
No.
That's exactly what Twitter is.
I agree. I think it's time for Twitter to be done.
I think that's what Parler is, actually.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. The onion ring grease.
I think Parler's the uncensored version of that.
Okay.
That's funny.
So Parler is the grease trap behind the strip club, is what.
And they don't even make food.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for Nate to enter the plug zone.
Yeah.
Oh, I am a native Mammoth Press, LLC. I do graphic design and illustration. That's my day job. Anywhere from logos and you know, branding, identity packages, business cards, anything and everything on, like, you know, the professional business spectrum, to illustration and comics, specifically Potbelly Mammoth, a series I started 6 years ago at potbellymammoth.com. Now a volume 1 is self-published book on the merch page at potbellymammoth.com. Volume 2 being currently uploaded to Patreon on patreon.com/potbellymammoth. And then when I'm not doing the graphic design illustration day by day, I've been doing another branch of the Mammoth Empire with the the Mammoth Press Multicade. It's an arcade cabinet that I designed and built myself, and for a few months ago. And then when, you know, leave it to me to make a 4-player cabinet in a time where, you know, nobody really should be coming together on a cabinet, you know, arcade to play. So I've been making YouTube videos on YouTube channel called Mammoth Press, where I do interviews and with other artists and entrepreneurs and creatives like myself. Gary has been in one episode recently, so has James here in this chat, but we'll, you know, I post them on Wednesdays on YouTube, and then also on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays of every week at 8 p.m. Central. I'm on the arcade cabinet live on Twitch at Mammoth Press, which just recently got accepted as affiliate. So
Nice. Congrats, dude.
Awesome. Very cool.
I'm pretty proud of that. It actually happened like 2 days ago, so I'm pretty pumped. So you get to come and hang out with me, give me requests, what to play, talk games, talk art, harass me, scare the crap out of me with sound files, you know, out of the blue, whatever. It's a fun thing. It's a party every night. So
I need to watch the Ninja Clown episode.
dude, it was when I decided on it, I'm like, I had an interview scheduled and it fell through, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and it was one of the multicade roulette options. It was one that I stumbled on by accident with the random feature, where I just like, all right, pick a game for me. And out of 2,500 games, it came up with Ninja Clowns. It's a side-scroller beat 'em up of a clown that does no ninjutsu, and is the only clown in it. Anyways, it's a fun episode. It's a real quick, I think it was like 25 minutes long from start to finish. It's a full, complete playthrough, and I make fun of it, but it was oddly satisfying to play it, because it is the game nobody asked for, and people pay a lot of money just to collect them. There's only 6 left in the world, and not a single collector have yet to have one that is fully intact.
Wow.
Because it's so bad. So it's worth a lot. I don't know. Collectors are weird.
But that makes it so good. Right? Okay, as for me, I am co-owner of Playco Games. We have 3 games currently available for purchase at www.playcogames.com. If you get the expanded version of Epic Monster Tea Party, Mr. Gary Bedell's art is in that game. Yeah. As for Visioncon, we are making an effort. We're going forward with an in-person con, as long as everything keeps going well, everybody gets healthy. Fingers crossed. I need conventions. I miss conventions. But Visioncon's dates are April 30th through May 2nd. 𝗏𝗏𝗃 Kaiju will be there in force. And we'll be doing a live Pen Clique there. We're gonna make them draw in front of everybody.
End of season 1.
Yeah.
Season 1, the finale. Now, as for next
Straight to Netflix.
month, January 28th will be our January Pen Clique, and it will be, drum roll, I don't have sound effects.
Yeah, here
Sound
we go.
effects, man.
What is that?
My pen.
That's what I heard.
Never
But I
mind.
digress.
Next month, we are doing verses. We are going to ask all you fans out there and your friends and your enemies, whoever you can get to send us ideas. The more ideas, the more creative they can get. We want you to pit 2 unlikely characters against each other. So what were the examples you gave me earlier?
Oh, actually, this came from a friend of mine. He said Negan versus 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗀𝗃. Yeah,
Negan versus who?
Huh?
Negan versus who?
𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗀𝗃.
I don't think I know who that is.
There's this.
He's the horse guy with the guitar
Yeah,
from
he's
the
quick,
old.
quick draw McGraw.
Yeah.
It's his
Oh!
Zorro personality. 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗀𝗃.
Nice.
Yeah, he hits people with his guitar and he goes, kabong!
I got a request for
That versus a nail bat. Yeah. I don't know, but
Jesus on a T-Rex versus Chuck Norris on a narwhal. That was I really regret not finishing it. They kind of disappeared.
that sounds good. But yeah, you guys give us the outlandish characters from different worlds, and these guys are going to bring it to life. I think we're going to have everybody do a different matchup, correct?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Come up with a
It'll be
handful
like
of
a
ideas, and
handful.
then we'll sort them out and bingo
Yeah.
style.
We'll
Oh
get
yeah,
him
yeah.
So
Russian
we
roulette
don't know
style.
till, we get them all and we just pick them out of a magic hat.
Magic.
Yeah, so after,
Not a regular one
holidays,
either. It has to be magic. Sorry.
Right.
please be watching for that event on Facebook, and we'll start taking submissions at the beginning of January. So I think we have a full month finally without holidays in January.
Yeah.
Yay.
That first week in January, we'll take your suggestions.
Well, I mean, there's the first.
What?
There's the first, but you're right.
Being
Anything
pedantic,
anybody else wants to add in here? Did we miss anything? Did I miss anybody? I don't think I did.
Anybody got anything else?
Nope, everybody's tired.
No.
We are done with the show. So,
Guys.
so
No, I was going to say, I just want to thank everybody who watched us tonight. I want to thank everybody here on the show tonight. Want to say again, what's up, Dave Stanfield? Want to say what's up to Adam out there. Sorry you couldn't be on tonight. And again, I want to just thank everybody who came on tonight and watched. And we really appreciate you.
we do. And I completely forgot to mention, you can catch this full version on YouTube.
Yes.
And every previous version we have done. So the other 3 episodes are on YouTube currently
And
on
share
the YouTube page. Look them up.
It's like if you watched it, if you enjoyed the show tonight, share it. Share episodes,
Please do. And until next month, from all of us here at the Pen Clique, thanks everybody. See you next month.
Thanks.